Welcome to Thrive by the Rising Muse. I'm Natty,
And I'm Veda.
and we are here to thrive.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. As we settle into this Thanksgiving season, we want to take a moment to pause and truly reflect on what it means to be grateful, not just for the things we have, but for the people that we encounter, the grace that we've received, and the mercy we're called to extend.
You know, Thanksgiving is supposed to be about gratitude, about looking back on the blessings of the year, giving thanks for what God has done for us. But as we were preparing for this episode, both of us felt something stirring deeper. A reminder that gratitude isn't complete unless it changes how you see others.
Exactly. Because sometimes we can be so thankful for God's grace in our own lives, and yet we can be so quick to withhold the same grace for someone else's. It's like we forget where we came from. We forget that we too have been forgiven, restored, and carried through things we didn't deserve to survive.
Exactly. And that's what we want to talk about today. What it really means to have gratitude that looks like grace.
Yeah. So let's start by talking about when gratitude becomes self righteousness. I've noticed this trend lately, especially on social media. I spend way too much time there.
Yeah, you do.
Uh, that even within the church, there's people who talk a lot about accountability, but it doesn't sound like love. It sounds more like judgment.
Mhm.
And it sounds cruelty dressed up as correction. And I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I have a problem too. Cruelty dressed up in a nice suit, cruelty dressed up in a nice dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, and you're like, oh no, because the Lord says, and you're going to hell, and you're not God.
no, but then people say, well, I'm just telling you the truth. Well, it's not the truth in love.
Right.
Okay? If it's not the truth in love, then it's an imposter.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we need to realize that when we are accusing, who's the accuser in our spiritual lives?
Satan is the
Right.
accuser.
So who are we
Mhm.
working for?
Work for Jesus.
My point exactly. So if you're being an accuser
Mhm.
instead of somebody who gives grace,
Mhm.
who are you working for?
Mm.
Food for thought.
Hello.
Mhm,
And it breaks my heart
mhm,
because Jesus never corrected people without compassion.
mhm.
His accountability always came with arms open wide.
Yep.
But somehow along the way, we've started using truth as the weapon instead of a healing tool.
And I think it so much comes from forgetting how much grace we've personally received. And this is not a plug-in, but that was the theme of my first book.
Mm-hmm.
My first book is called The Road Home. If anybody's interested, it's on Amazon. It's about a woman who went through unimaginable things and then got saved. And when she got saved, she took everybody, kicked everybody to the side, and was so self righteous about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, she forgot to love uh, the sinner, not the sin.
Mm-hmm. And she also forgot the grace that was given
Unto
unto her.
her. Right.
It's like in the Bible
Mm-hmm.
when the man was forgiven by the king.
Mm-hmm.
When he was forgiven, he goes out
Mm-hmm. And beat.
and he beats up people
Yeah.
because they owe him money,
Right. And he was way less money than he owed the king.
much less money.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So I think, when people forget, oh, I'm saved and I'm sanctified, and you're on your own because you did something bad. Did you forget that you did not have a halo? you know. So it is hard when you know what it's like to be forgiven It's not just on paper, but it's in your soul.
Mhm.
You don't look at others the same way.
Mhm.
You don't see their sin first. You see their need, and especially their need for healing.
Mhm.
And I'll be honest. I was that person. I've said I was looking at my life, and I've been both. The prodigal son.
Mhm.
I've been both brothers.
Mm.
I have.
The one that stayed and the one that left and came back.
Right.
Mm.
Um, Before I committed what I interpreted as my first big sin, uh, I thought I'm a Christian and everything is good. And, I grew up in church, in a different kind of church, but yeah. So, I'm not killing, I'm not murdering, I'm not, sleeping around. So I'm righteous.
Mm.
And I was very judgmental. I'm not gonna lie. I was very judgmental. I was like, I don't understand why people keep sinning and they say they love the Lord, or why they keep doing the wrong things instead of just accepting Jesus and stuff. Then I fell flat on my face, and I didn't feel. It took me years to come back because I felt like the other brother, the brother that left. Like, I have to go eat pig's food. Yeah, pig food and dirt and stuff because I don't deserve to get back.
Mm.
And it took me a long time. And I was still going to church, but I was not there
Mhm.
connecting because I didn't deserve it. And I
Mhm.
still didn't. I still don't. But that's when I understood grace and mercy. That is not about what we deserve because none of us deserve the forgiveness.
Well, see, grace is giving you what you don't deserve, and
Right.
mercy is not giving you
What you
what you do
do. Right.
deserve.
So when I finally understood that, that's when I learned I can't judge anybody because I've always known that a lie and a murder are the same in the eyes of God. So just because you sin different than me doesn't mean that I'm holier than thou and you're dirt.
Mhm.
And that helped me. And I think sometimes that's why Lord allowed me to fall flat on my face because I was like, no, I'm a Christian. I'm in church. I'm so good. No, honey, I was
Mm.
not. I was not. Hmm.
Well, gratitude should humble us,
That's what he did for me.
not harden us.
Yes.
If our thankfulness doesn't make us more compassionate,
Mm-hmm.
more gentle,
Mm-hmm.
more understanding, then maybe it's not gratitude at all.
Yep.
Maybe it's pride in disguise.
Yes.
Seen a lot of that.
And pride will always make us feel like we're the one sitting in God's chair.
Mm.
I don't want that chair at all.
Too much responsibility.
Yeah. Like we get to decide who's worthy and who's not.
Mhm.
How does that, you know? So yeah, it's a process that, before I was like, I don't understand why people don't do whatever you do right. Now it's like, if you have been forgiven the way I have, I don't understand how you don't have compassion for other people. How you don't love other people. And sometimes I engage in some of these conversations with people online, and the answer, oh, well, I go to church and I give charity and I donate stuff, and it's like, but where's your heart? You're donating stuff, but then you're here telling people if you don't have anything to eat, oh well,
Mhm.
you know? So you think that because you donated 2 cans at a food bank, but now you're telling a mother that can't feed their kids, oh well, you're on your own, that makes it okay? It doesn't compute to
I
me.
hate it when I hear people say, you should have thought about it before you start popping out all these babies. I can't stand to hear a person degrade another person that way.
There's a few things in that subject And that could be a whole episode on its own, but I'll give you my top 5, maybe. First of all, I put myself in those shoes. Oh, don't have kids if you can't afford them. Is one of those things. My mother had me when she was married to my dad. My dad died. She became a single mother not by choice. But in my mother's case, she had a good job and we got Social Security for some years. But that was fine. What happens to the mother that is a stay at home wife? Maybe she married young, doesn't have a career, and now she has to jump out into the workforce and maybe not make as much as what her husband did. Even if they got some Social Security, might not be enough, depending on the number of kids they have. When he was working, they could afford them, but now they can't. Not all single mothers are because somebody was irresponsible.
Right. My mom became a single mother because our dad was violent.
Right.
And we literally had to run for our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But while they were married, everything he purchased, he had her as a co-signer.
Mm-hmm.
So that when she divorced him and he disappeared,
she inherited the debt.
She inherited the debt.
Oh.
And they garnished her wages at the school
where she worked.
Where she worked.
And she had 2 kids to feed.
2 children to feed. Now, let me also tell you this. After school one day, we went down to the food stamp office. Okay? My mother had on, looked like a suede coat. Like Diamels. Not real, but looked real. Suede-ish looking coat. Fake fur around the top. It was cold outside. She also had on her long boots. My mom was judged before she even opened her mouth. So whoever was interviewing her, they had already formed their opinion. She looked too good to be. What were we supposed to do? Go home and roll around in the mud and come in?
Look.
The coat wasn't even real.
Right.
It was
a fake.
It was a knockoff coat.
Even if it was real, what if she had it before?
What if it was a gift?
That's what I'm saying. What if she had it before this situation? Even if your dad bought it for her before the situation happened, when things were stable. I will tell you something. You and I work at a food bank a couple of times a week. And I had somebody, I'm not going to tell you who, whispered like around me, well, that person is coming in here and look at the car they're driving. And I had to stop that person and say, do you know that they could be unemployed? And they had the car before they stopped working. Because you have a Cadillac. You didn't buy it.
Sure did not.
You
I inherited it.
Right. So somebody's going to judge you for what you drive, not knowing that was how you got it.
See, that's why we're not supposed to envy what people have.
Right.
That was a good segue. I like that. We're not supposed to envy what people have. Okay, they may be driving around in Mercedes with $1,000 car note.
Yes. Because they could afford it when they bought it, but they lost their job.
Yeah.
People get furloughed, people get laid
Or
off.
credit was bad and they got high interest and had to pay a high note.
That too.
Okay. There are people that live in certain houses.
Yeah.
But then, unfortunately, your spouse dies.
Or you lose a job.
Or you lose a job and you can't keep up with the payments. No. We have a group of people where they choose the partner that is best at doing the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, my husband's best at doing the bills, so
Mm-hmm.
I let him do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But let's say when the husband is taken away, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about divorce, when the
Yeah.
husband passes,
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden,
The one that's not good
I've
at
got to
managing money.
sit down
Yes.
and figure out
How to manage the money.
how to manage the money, how to do the bills, and what goes where, and what date is it supposed to be.
Right.
And that can be very overwhelming if you have not prepared yourself.
And even in a divorce as well. If he was the one doing the bills, you don't even know what you have in your hands.
Right.
You know, there's there's so many things. And like I said, even if somebody loses a job,
Mhm.
um, until when do they get a new job?
Mhm.
What's gonna happen during that
You
time?
got to leave it.
And the part that really gets me, it's like when we just had the shutdown, because
Mhm.
by the time it's over now,
Mhm.
people were saying, well, go get a job. And I I have a particularly two people in mind that I served at the food pantry that I wanted to say, look at this. Well, three. One is a lady. She's single, no kids. She brought all her bills
Mhm.
and her pay stubs.
Mhm.
She works
Mhm.
full time
Mhm.
and overtime,
Mhm.
and she does not make enough for food.
Mhm.
It was not her telling me a story. She brought the papers.
You have proof in front of you.
There's the other guy that I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but I know I mentioned it to you. He was someone making six figures,
Mm.
single man. He had a nice house. He could afford it. Had a nice car. He could afford it. He had a stupid accident with a nail in his house because, a nail from a box fell on the floor. He stepped on it.
Mm.
And because it was a new nail, he didn't think anything of it. He let it go. That thing got infected to the point that he hasn't worked in a year.
Mhm.
He went through all his savings. He can't work, has no money,
Mhm.
and he lost toes.
Mhm.
He's had like 27 surgeries. And he almost in tears told me that the only reason he's still in his house is because he had some good friends that help him. But he still didn't have, but he can't depend on that,
Mhm.
so he had to come get some food.
Mhm.
The other one is a couple. They have two kids. They were trying, they both work,
Mhm.
both of them. Even both of their salaries are not enough for food.
Mhm.
And again, they bring all their stuff.
Mhm.
So when people say, go get a job, they are people working. We were talking to a military wife last week, and even though she didn't experience that, but we had somebody who, if the wife was, we know someone who the wife works at a school within the military,
Mhm.
and the husband is in the
It's in
military.
the military.
Neither of them are getting paid.
Mm-mm. Right.
So what do you do?
2 federal jobs, no paycheck.
Right.
Mhm.
So what do you do? What do you do? And you were working.
Mhm.
And when you had the kids you could afford them because you both were making good money.
Mhm.
So the illusion that people are, I mean, and I'm not saying there's no fraud. I'm sure there is. But I don't think it's as
I feel like the
big.
majority of the
Right.
people fell on hard times.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the husband and wife
Something
both are
happened.
employed.
Mm-hmm.
But after you pay your bills to keep the lights on, to
Mm-hmm.
keep the water and the
Mm-hmm.
gas on,
Mm-hmm.
and pay your mortgage or your rent,
Mm-hmm.
gotta pay your insurance
Mm-hmm.
on the vehicle that you're driving. After you pay all that, there's no money for food.
Mm-hmm.
That's why When I'm at the food bank
Mhm.
and I have time
Mhm.
working in the back, I like to go up to the front
Mhm.
and I like to greet the people
Mhm.
and give them a smile.
Mhm.
And I remember one day I told them we could be at the food bank that we see on TV that has miles and miles of cars waiting.
Mhm.
We could be near a military base
Mhm.
because we know we're going to get swarmed
Mhm.
by the military base. And I tell them, I say, you know what? You're not standing outside. You're already inside. Your name's been taken. You're sitting down. You're waiting for your name to be called,
Mhm.
you know? And I let them know we don't judge you.
Oh, no.
I don't know your situation. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You are human,
Mhm.
and I'm going to treat you with respect as a human.
And just like talking about people judging because some people have made bad decisions.
Mhm.
That's true. And some
Mhm.
people abuse the system. I
Mhm.
get it. I don't think it's as big of a problem as people think, but that's a different conversation.
Mhm.
But the problem with that is nobody is exempt of being there.
Nobody.
Anybody is one illness or one paycheck from
Away
being
from
from
being.
being there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when you get in a situation of self-righteousness because, well, who told you to have 30 kids? I'm from life to death. And I that's what I think about. And I'm not talking about abortion, that's a whole other conversation. But my point is, we want those kids to be born. We are telling people, no, have those kids. But when those kids are here, well, that's your problem for having them.
You shouldn't have had so many.
Dude, that's so many. So I think that when we don't help and it's like, and you have taught me a lot of that too, but it's something of the message of Jesus. Okay, well, I'm gonna give them $10 and they're gonna drink them off or they're gonna use them on drugs. That's not your business. Your heart as a Christian is to give. What they do with that, God will hold them accountable.
The Bible does not say only give when you feel that they're really going to take the money and go buy food or whatever. The Bible just says give and it will come back to you.
Right.
Pressed down, shaken together, good measure with men given to your bosom. Give, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When I give a person something, that my responsibility is over.
Right.
What they do with it,
Mm-hmm.
if they lie and say they're going to do this and they do something else,
Between them and God.
that's between them and God.
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't do it like I used to. My daughter, and she's like, "Mom, why you always giving?" And at that time, I would make sure I kept money in the ashtray
Uh-huh.
that I could pull a few dollars out and give
Mm-hmm.
them, you know. And I just do what God tells me.
Right. Right.
You know, when my heart is swelling and they're standing with that sign, and I don't care what's in their pocket,
Mm-hmm.
they're asking for help. If I can do it, I give them a few dollars and
Mm-hmm.
say, "God bless
Yep.
you." But I can't judge anybody
Mm-hmm.
because I remember back in the day, my husband had 2 or 3 jobs
Mm-hmm.
and I had 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we were still getting eviction notices.
Mm-hmm.
Never got evicted, thank you, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But when we moved from that house, I pulled out like 25 staples
Mm-hmm.
because
The letters.
they would staple it right between the garage door.
Mm-hmm.
Pink paper staple. Why can't you just put it on the porch? Why you gotta let everybody know? But and we had been there for 4 years, so it was like 25 staples or something like that. But we never got evicted. We always got the money
Why
inside.
did you have those kids you couldn't afford?
Oh, the 2 that I had. Oh, yeah, my 2 children,
Right.
not the 15 that my grandparents had.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Uh-huh.
Let's bring let's just bring the word in
Yeah.
because Jesus gave us such a clear example in John chapter 8 when the woman caught in adultery was thrown before him, everyone else was ready to stone her.
Yes, they were.
Okay? And what did Jesus say?
He knelt down and he wrote, "Let the one without sin cast the first stone." And nobody did because they knew. They knew. He didn't justify her sin.
Mm-mm.
He didn't also tell the crowd, join in, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
stone her. He chose mercy.
Yeah.
He chose mercy.
And then he also made them think about,
Who are you to be throwing
you've all
stones?
sinned.
Right.
Okay, so if you without sin cast the first stone, who would have cast the stone?
Jesus would have been the only one.
Jesus would have been the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And he chose not to.
Right.
He had the power to. And see, meekness, people,
Mm-hmm.
people take meekness for weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Meekness is power under control.
Mm-hmm.
I know the power I have.
Mm-hmm.
I know how I can move and shake. But when I keep it under control,
Right.
okay, I can think better. I can move better.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do, you're going to be judged.
Right.
You do good, somebody's going to find something wrong or be jealous of what you do good. You do bad, they definitely going to jump on that, okay, all day and all night.
Yeah.
So, I understand why the Bible stresses
Mm-hmm.
put not your trust in man,
Yeah, absolutely.
put your trust in God.
Absolutely.
But because of our human nature
Yeah.
and our fallen human nature,
Absolutely.
all of these dysfunctional things that we do, they're just prevalent
Yes.
everywhere. But
Mhm.
we just have to remember
Mm-hmm.
where our strength comes from, our
Right.
grace and our mercy comes
Mm-hmm.
from. And we know that he embodied truth.
Mm-hmm.
He embodied grace
Mm-hmm.
and mercy. And that moment was gratitude in motion. Jesus, the Son of God, knew the price he was about to pay for her forgiveness.
Yeah.
And still, he extended love first. Look, I'm already going to the cross. It's going to hurt.
Right. So might as well do this.
So if I don't do it, maybe that's one lash I won't get. You know, he knew what his assignment was. He knew what his purpose was in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Mm-hmm.
Look at here, Daddy. You know I'll do anything for you.
Yeah. We don't have to do
If
this.
I don't have to go through this,
Let's go.
I won't even be mad at you if you change your mind. Okay? I know I got to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it. Even Jesus was honest with his Father.
Absolutely.
Okay? But I do it.
Yeah.
He knew what his assignment is. Maybe when we realize what our assignments are, we can walk better in our lane because we are confident in what God assigned us to do.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Like, we know this is what God told us to do, and we have seen his hand move up, open doors.
And every time I go, are we really? He goes, yes. I go, okay.
Now, see, we're talking about algorithms here and, what comes up first and stuff like that. But see, our God has an algorithm
of his own.
Mm-hmm. Now, I definitely have gratitude because I know his grace and mercy every day, all day, while I'm asleep, while I'm awake, while I'm going and coming. That's why it's about a relationship, not just, do you know Jesus? Yeah, I know him. I went to church with my mama, my grandma, and aunt.
Yeah, I have a friend that says that, being in church doesn't make you a Christian.
No,
the
it
same
does
that
not.
being in the garage doesn't make your car. So we say that we're thankful for Jesus and thankful for his mercy, but how often do we live like we are? See, gratitude isn't just what we say at the table before the turkey. It's how we treat people the rest of the week
Mhm.
and the rest of the days,
Mhm.
especially the ones that the world calls undeserving.
Undeserving.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Micah 6:8 says that it so beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Micah says it
Mm-hmm.
so beautifully. What does the Lord require of you?
Mm-hmm.
He requires you to act justly. You're required to love mercy, required to walk humbly with your God.
Yep.
We love the first part, justice, but the verse doesn't stop there. God's justice always moves hand in hand with mercy and humility.
Absolutely. And humility means remembering we are not the judge. We are the evidence of what grace can do.
Mhm,
So let's see how gratitude can look like compassion.
mhm.
Sometimes Thanksgiving makes us focus on who's around the table or who brought the wrong recipe. And I'm already seeing the messages of, please, if you don't cook, don't try a new recipe this year.
Mhm.
And
And the people that bring a big old pot and it's supposed to be rice, but it look like grits.
and I know culturally I'm only allowed to make the rice for Thanksgiving, and I'm happy with that.
Rice and peas.
Right, because they eat other stuff that, like, for example, in my house, we would eat pumpkin pie. Exactly. They don't like pumpkin pie. So, and I used to make the pumpkin pie from scratch, but I know not to make pumpkin pie for them because they're not going to eat it. So,
We grew up eating sweet potato pie.
right. So I bring the sweet potato pie, but
She sure does.
I bring it from the store.
As long as Patty is making them, she gonna buy.
I buy them from the store, and I'm allowed to make the rice and pigeon peas.
And she can also make the green salad. She does a beautiful green salad. I mean, those black olives and red onion and all the different colors in there. I mean, just make it pop.
Yeah, my day, it's not that I can't cook. It's that thing, for the holidays, they have a different menu. My holiday to cook is Three Kings. That's when they come into my territory
Mhm.
but that's a whole, so that's not what Thanksgiving is about. I want us to think who's not there.
Mm.
Who's
The,
not at our table?
the empty chair.
The person sitting alone,
Mhm.
the one grieving, the one feeling forgotten. When I moved to Georgia for the first, I want to say 5 to 6 years. And I didn't have a family. I didn't have, a lot of friends. And I used to pick somebody that I knew that didn't have anywhere to go and invite them to my house
Mhm.
for Thanksgiving. And I would make the whole turkey and whatever. But every year, um, I would invite somebody to Thanksgiving that didn't have anywhere to go.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are the people that we need to think about.
If you know someone who might be alone this Thanksgiving, reach out to them through a text, a call, or go ring the doorbell and give them a plate of food.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your smallest act of
Mm-hmm.
kindness becomes the reminder that God hasn't forgotten them.
Yeah. And maybe that's what gratitude really looks like. Seeing people the way Jesus did, looking for the lonely, the hurt, the ones who can repay you.
Mm-hmm.
Because grace doesn't ask, do they deserve it?
Mm-hmm.
Grace asks, can I show them Jesus?
Mm-hmm. And grace don't ask when your payday.
No, absolutely not.
And grace don't go with you to the check cashing store and
No.
wait for.
Mm-mm.
When we do that,
Mm-hmm.
when we let our gratitude move us to compassion, we're actually worshiping.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying to God, I'm thankful enough to give what you've given me to share it with somebody
Mhm.
else.
The other part is we need to be forgiven, but
And
also
to
to
forgive.
forgive. Yes.
hmm hmm And you know, I got a thing about forgiveness
Yes, you
now.
do.
We can forgive people
Mhm.
and still not have a relationship
Yeah, they don't need to come to think.
because there are some things that are done
Mhm.
that you need to forget to
Mhm.
free yourself.
Right.
But they won't be sitting at the dining room table for Thanksgiving.
Right.
No, I don't hate you anymore. I don't want you dead anymore. I actually pray for God to bless you.
Mhm.
But no, we will not have that kind of relationship where we're going to hang out and you come to dinner. And no, I just don't hate you anymore.
Mhm.
So we need to be clear
Yeah.
because, especially domestic violence
Mhm.
situation,
Yes.
you're in a domestic violence situation
You're finally out.
like my mom was,
Mhm.
and we had to literally run for our
Mhm.
lives. Well, when that Thanksgiving came around after the court granted divorce
Mhm.
for mom and dad, we didn't have our dad at the Thanksgiving table.
No.
Not 1 year since then.
Right.
And even 1 year I had to explain to him, I've forgiven you. I don't hate you anymore. I don't want you dead.
Mhm.
But you won't be sitting at my table breaking bread with me.
Right.
We don't have that kind of relationship.
Well, one of the things also about forgiving is sometimes the family does get together.
Mhm,
And that's when the biggest fights start because people have unforgiveness
mhm,
or judgment
mhm.
and then start the questioning and the fight. It's a cliche.
And don't let them get a little juicy.
No, 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 no. It's such a cliche
Mm.
that I'm gonna tell you something. TikTok right now has a challenge that if in your house there's some drama happening, there's a hashtag for you to go live and show your family drama. That is how cliche that is, and how often it happens. So none of our houses should be there. Because if we are part of the body of Christ, we should not be having that kind of situation in our houses.
Let me give you another example. And I know a lot of you listening will agree to this or have experienced it. Okay, when you take communion
Mhm.
at church,
Yeah.
before you take communion, you need to go to whoever offended you
Yes.
or whoever you go to the person you offended.
Mhm.
Sometimes we don't know we offended a person. That
Mhm.
person need to come to us.
Mhm.
But then there was some people saying, well, you knew last week you was still mad, but you gonna wait until you get up at look, I don't care who sees what I'm doing because they don't have a heaven or hell to put me in. See, the Bible didn't say believe in Natty with all your heart and
No,
all your soul,
you better not.
believing that she died and God rose her from the dead for our sins, you shall be saved.
Nope.
No,
Don't do that.
no, 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 no.
I have no heaven or hell to put anybody.
But there have been many occasions
Mhm.
that I couldn't let it go.
Mhm.
And then before I took it, there have been many occasions I did not take
Mhm.
communion because my flesh was not ready to let it go.
Right.
Because we were taught that if you take communion with unforgiveness in your heart, that's blasphemy against God.
Yeah.
You might as well be running back and forth across the communion table. You know, we couldn't touch that.
Yeah.
Don't look at it
Yeah.
like the Ark of the Covenant. You just gonna be burned up. Don't go near that table.
Mhm.
It is sacred.
Yeah.
But forgiveness is also sacred.
Mhm.
I was talking to Freddie about forgiveness last night, our
Mhm.
brother. And I told him forgiveness is not for the person that you're
Mm-hmm.
mad at. See, we don't want to forgive God. I'm not going to let them off the hook. Well, I tell you what, when you don't forgive, you put your own self on a hook.
Oh yeah.
If someone hung you on the hook on the back of the door, I asked Freddie, where can you go?
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere.
Exactly.
You could turn to the left or turn to the right, but you're not going anywhere.
Right.
You can do your feet like you on the cycle, but you're not going anywhere. That's what unforgiveness is to the person who has unforgiveness in their heart. You are stuck.
And and bringing that to Thanksgiving, my thought is, if you know, and Lila, it's coming, and there's some unforgiveness there, call her this week.
Mm-hmm.
Call her before the Thanksgiving day, or before you guys sit down at the table, and pull her to the side.
She come to the house and
Right. Come over. Let's have this.
let me talk to you.
Yeah. Or Uncle James is coming,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull him to the side. Have that conversation before you join hands and say grace over a food that you're all going to partake, and thank God for what? For not killing each other?
And we also need to mention what happened a year ago, Thanksgiving, after the election. People were so
Yeah.
divided that they didn't get together like they usually do for Thanksgiving, because if you voted for this person and I voted for that one, I'm on this team, that homes were divided.
They are divided.
Totally.
Yeah.
And there's still people stop having relationships because of the choices that you made in the ballot book.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So families have been torn apart big time just in this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because when you're going down your guest list, okay, you could either be from one party or the other. Like, okay, all right, this is a yes, 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 no, 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 yes, yes, no. Instead of us saying, look, I respect your right to believe what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
Respect my right to believe what I believe. If we can't come together and have a civil discussion, let's not bring it up.
Right. Let's not talk about it.
Don't even talk about it.
Right.
Okay? Because my love for you goes deeper than a political party.
Yes.
Okay? Because when you have to go to the hospital, the political party is not coming down.
You took the words out of my mouth. I promise you, your candidate of choice will not come to see you at the hospital. I promise you, your senator or representative is not going to go pick you up from the hospital. They're not going to bring you a bag of food.
Unless they happen to be a relative.
Even if you're a relative, you might not get it.
Even then, okay.
You might not even get it there. But, but let's say if a family member, maybe, you might get something. They are not going to come wash your dishes. They're not going to go give you a ride anywhere. They're not going to go visit you at the hospital.
Unfortunately, I heard somebody say, I wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire.
And they won't.
Yeah. And they will not.
They would not.
This is not what God wants for us.
It's not.
This does not glorify God or Thanksgiving, being thankful and grateful.
Yes.
In any way. Okay? It's like you got the Republicans in one room, Democrats in another.
And the independents in the middle.
And yeah, they doing the serving. They gonna serve.
They're gonna serve everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, it can be very, very, very rough.
It can be.
Because a lot of people have that uncle that swears, okay, no politics. But that's where he feeds off of. So as soon as he come in the house, he gonna say something to spark. And that's when you have to remember the rules of today are.
And you have to and that's part of it. Boundaries.
You got to
You
put
have to.
boundaries in place.
You know, um, and I just thought of something. My first Thanksgiving as a married person, I did these little cards for everybody that was coming to the table. That was a terrible Thanksgiving, but had nothing to do with the cards. But you can do that. You can put the rules of today and pass them around and say this as soon as you get, hi, how are you? Here you go. Here you go. No politic talk. We're going to be thankful, but if there's people from different beliefs, no religion talk.
And I know your baby daddy here with his new girlfriend.
Do not say it.
Do not cause a fight. Okay, so each name card got different instructions, but
Your baby daddy is here with the new girlfriend.
yeah, because
Wow.
y'all just share a child. Now your relationship is over.
But he's still coming
You
to
just share
Thanksgiving.
a child.
But he's coming still to Thanksgiving. That's a love and family.
Because everybody in the family love him.
I wasn't saying that's
And
a
they
baby
may
loving
think
family.
that you were the wrong
I
one.
think I love your family. Throw you under the bus. But yeah. No. Hey, I think that's very Christian.
I mean, we just giving you something to think about and something to laugh
Christian.
about because
That's very
we
Christian.
don't laugh,
Oh my God.
we will implode. Okay, you got to get that pressure off of you.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parables is the one about the unforgiven servant. What I tell you?
Yeah.
Matthew 18, the man who was forgiven an impossible debt. Okay, that's like owing a loan shark. Loan shark. 50, 100, $200,000 because you kept losing. But then turned around and refused to forgive somebody that owed you $10.
Right.
And you running down the street behind the person that owed you 10, and you just got forgiven of hundreds of thousands of millions.
Right.
Okay? That's not right.
No, it's not.
That's not right at all.
And that's such a perfect picture of what happens when gratitude doesn't take root. That man received mercy, but he never became merciful. And that's a warning for all of us.
Because real gratitude, the kind that transforms you, doesn't just say, thank you, God. It says, I want to live like you, God.
Yeah. And living like him means loving people even when it's inconvenient.
Hello.
And loving people that we don't like, it's hard. But the Bible says love your enemies. And so being Christian is not for a week, you know? But we don't do it on our own. We do it through Jesus. And it's inconvenient extending grace when they don't apologize and showing compassion when your baby daddy comes with the girlfriend, when other turns away. But that's the kind of gratitude that shifts atmospheres.
Yeah. Yeah. There are no perfect marriage relationships.
Oh, no.
Family dynamics have changed so much.
Oh, yeah.
Over the years. I'm a boomer. Back in the 60s. May have been mother, father, 2.0 children, boy and a girl.
2.5, it was the dog.
2.5, you got a boy and a girl and a dog.
Right.
Okay, you got a car.
If you say 2.8, it might have been a dog and a cat too.
You got a carport, drive,
white
picket fence, all this. Family does not look like that these days.
Not at all.
Family doesn't look like that.
No.
Family is totally evolved.
Yes.
And family is not always blood.
I know that.
Okay? That's a relative. Relative is blood. Family doesn't have to be blood.
That's correct.
So and so is my relatives because we came from the same bloodline. But my family, okay? And you have to think about that.
Yeah.
Okay? Who's your blood and who's your family?
Yeah.
So, as we heard, or as we heard in the Thanksgiving, head into it, however we want to do it. Maybe it's time for a heart check.
Mm-hmm.
Am I grateful only for what I have?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I grateful enough to give?
Hmm. Am I grateful for grace only when I'm the one who needs it? Or do I carry it with me into how I see others? Mhm.
Mhm,
Because here's the truth: gratitude without grace is empty. It's like
mhm,
thanking God for the light while refusing to share it with anybody sitting in the
mhm,
dark.
mhm.
Mhm.
You can't hide your light in your pocket.
No.
When we were growing up, we had lightning bugs.
I
Uh-huh.
remember those.
And we would put them in our pocket. We put them
Bless
in
their
a jar.
hearts.
We pull the
Jars.
light off of it, put it on the ear. Yeah. Walk around the backyard with ears glowing, lightning bulb, make a little necklace.
Oh
And
my goodness.
oh, yes. Lightning bulbs. They were my favorite.
I just put it in jars.
Ye-
I didn't get to wear them
Oh,
as jewelry.
yes. Women's jewelry.
Oh
Hmm.
goodness.
Got a lightning bug on your finger. Look at my diamond. Look. This is all so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we need to sit in this moment
Mm-hmm.
for a moment.
Right.
Okay. Let's not just be thankful this year. Let's be transformed.
Yeah, absolutely. Grace costs something. It cost Jesus everything.
Everything.
So when we withhold it, when we choose judgment over mercy, we cheapen the very thing that we claim to be thankful for.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's why for me, this year's gratitude looks like this. I want my words, my posture, my responses to all reflect the heart of Jesus, not the self righteousness of religion, but the humility and relationship of redemption.
Absolutely. Let our gratitude look like grace.
Mm-hmm.
Let it sound like forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Feel compassion and move like mercy. That's what the world needs right now. Not
Yes.
more opinions. We have plenty of them. Not more judgment. We
Uh-huh.
have plenty of that
Plenty.
too.
Plenty.
But people who carry the heart of Jesus into every conversation,
Every conversation,
every table,
every table,
every season.
every season.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're listening today and you feel far from God, or you've been hurt by people who used his name to wound you, hear us. When we say this, God's grace is still for you. His love hasn't run out. You are not too far gone to be embraced again.
Amen. You are seen. You are loved.
Hmm.
And you are worth the grace that already been paid.
That's because you matter.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. As you celebrate Thanksgiving, as we celebrate
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving 2025,
Mm-hmm.
remember that someone nearby might be doing it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be intentional about reaching out, about embodying the love that we talk about. A warm word, a simple text can be the bridge between despair and hope for someone.
And if you know someone who's struggling, or you are the one struggling, please remember you're never alone.
Mhm.
If you are in a crisis situation, you can call or text 988 on crisis like wait, let me say that again. 988 for the suicide and crisis lifeline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you have someone in your family who is experiencing a mental health crisis, please dial 911 or take them to the nearest emergency room.
Mhm.
If you are facing a domestic violence relationship, reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1 800 7233 or visit thehotline.org for live chat support. Make sure you're alone when you make those outreach, and if you're doing it online, be there's a button that you can click if somebody's coming into the room where you are.
And that domestic violence hotline number again is 1-800-799-7233.
Okay.
That's very important.
Hmm.
We always want you to know that there's help and there is hope.
This Thanksgiving, let's make our gratitude visible. Let's make it sound like grace.
We love you all. We're thankful for each of you in the Thrive by the Rising Muse community. Until next time,
Don't
don't
forget
forget
to
to
thrive.
thrive.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye
Bye.
bye.